What is up, math superstars? In this edition of Mr. Peterson Presents, we are going to be exploring the realm of scientific notation. So when talking about scientific notation, it's just another way to write numbers. So this is most frequently used when we have really big numbers and really small numbers. And so in part one in this video, we're going to focus on some really big numbers here. So first of all, we have to figure out how to even write a number in scientific notation. And so here we're given this number. It is written in scientific notation. Here are the parts. Your first part is that this first part right here, 6.7, is that you have to have this first part has to be between 1 and 10 is the key. You're always going to have a multiplication sign in between that number and a power of 10. And so if we were to figure out what this number actually is in standard form, so the way we would normally write it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out 6.7. And so this power of 10 to the power 5 means that I'm going to move my decimal 5 place values to the right. And so in this, I always think of a number line. If I'm going positive, I'm going to go to the right is the way to move the decimal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my decimal point at 6.7. I'm going to move it 5 place values to the right. So here we go. So let's move it 1. We're moving it 2. We're moving it 3. We're moving it 4. And we're going to move it 5. And I'm going to put my new decimal. And you notice that I have some blanks here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill those in with zeros. 2, 3, 4. So this number in standard form is actually 670,000. And so you can see here, so all I did was I took the first part that's between 1 and 10, and my power of 10 just told me that I'm moving the decimal 5 place values to the right because it's a positive number. The positive numbers on the number line are going to the right. So here we have this example, the state of Virginia. The state of Virginia has approximately 8,300,000 people. And we need to write this number in scientific notation. So the first part is going to be a number between 1 and 10. So I'm going to write 8.3. Where I got that at is I'm looking at the very first number, and I'm trying to figure out all of the essential numbers after that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a decimal that is between 1 and 10. So I put 8.3. The next part is I have a multiplication sign, and now I'm going to do a power of 10. The way I can get the exponent for this power of 10, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a decimal at the end of this number here, because it's already there. I just don't have to write it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it till I get to where my decimal shows me 8 3/10. So here's the way this is going to work. So let's move it now to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to put my decimal there so you can see that I have 8 3/10 now. I moved the decimal point 6 place values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my exponent, you guessed it, is going to be to the power of 6. So 8,300,000 written in scientific notation. I have 8 3/10 times 10 to the 6th power. So let's try another one. You might be very interested in going from Earth to Mars. And so we have that in miles. It's actually 249 million miles away. So if I'm going to write this in scientific notation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a number between 1 and 10. So what I did was I looked at that first number. I looked at that 100 millions value is 2, and I put my decimal after that, and then I included all of the numbers after that decimal that are essential numbers. So I did 2.49, and I know I need to multiply by a power of 10. So the way I can do this is I'm going to put a decimal at the end of 249 million. And I'm going to move it until I get to 2.49. So let's move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 place values. So you can see that I have that decimal, 2 and 49 hundredths. And since I went 8 place values, you guessed it, my exponent is going to be 8. So 249 million written in scientific notation is 2 and 49 hundredths times 10 to the 8th power. So the fun thing is that you can also look at total views on YouTube. So here's a popular video, peanut butter and jelly time. If you want to watch that, so after this video, of course, you can always click on the video during your classwork and jam away to hours of peanut butter and jelly time. But what you see here is that this video has been viewed to over 23 million times. That's a lot of times for this YouTube video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to estimate here. So I'm going to estimate the total views to be 23 million. If I'm going to write that in scientific notation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with 2 3/10. And I know I need to have a power of 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that decimal at the end, and let's go ahead and move it till I get my decimal of 2 3/10. So let's go ahead and move it. I'm moving it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can see that I have 2 3/10. I moved it 7 times, so you guessed it, the exponent is gonna be 7. And so here, we're just talking about some really big numbers. The next video that you're gonna watch is gonna be scientific notation when we deal with really small numbers.